Before the 90 days, where love is online, the math is never mathing, and common sense missed the flight. I'm recapping the nonsense, the scams, and the audacity. You're watching Kinda Unhinged. So first things first, thank you guys so much for 500 subs. You guys are the real MVP. And if you haven't already subscribed, then go ahead and subscribe. What are you waiting for? It is only up from here. Now let's get into the review. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another Before the 90 Days video, and we are on season 8, episode 14. So we begin this episode with Elise and Josh. So Elise and Josh decide to go to the beach, and while they're at the beach, Josh opens up to Elise about how he feels safe with her. And in his last relationship, he didn't really feel that way. He always felt like his ex was gonna leave him for somebody else. And obviously that made Elise feel really good, and they connected. So when they got back to the rental, they decided to take a shower together. And after they took their shower together, then Josh gave her a massage on the couch. And of course, Chris walked in right in the middle of it because they were in the living room. So obviously, that completely ruined that moment. So then we see Lisa trying to explain herself to Daniel, trying to explain why she lied, and Daniel doesn't want to hear it. He says that she's an evil woman, and even worse than her being with other women is the fact that she lied about it and continued to lie. She continues to plead her case to him. She tells him that she loves him, and he says that she's evil and gives her ring back. So Lisa told production that if he's not going to accept her, then F him. So Rick apologizes to Trisha about arguing with her about her ex, and they prepare to go to her village to meet her family. So when they get to her village, he meets all of her family, and the dad is showing him around, shows him where they go to the bathroom, shows them the shower, and Rick is less than thrilled about these accommodations. He complains about the toilet and the shower, and Trisha said that Rick complains all the time. And honestly, I wouldn't want to use the toilet or the shower there, but I would be polite enough to keep it to myself. Rick couldn't keep it in. He was just saying it right in front of her dad. So they come inside, and the dad gives them the blessing to just be together, like be seen together in public. And he says that he'll grill him later on that night at dinner. Then we catch up with Sheena and Forrest, and they go see an immigration attorney to find out about the K-1 visa. And the attorney asks Forrest about his income, and he tells him that he gets disability. And the attorney said, well, that doesn't qualify as income. You have to actually have a job. And if they were to file for a visa today, they would be denied. Forrest was like, well, how long do I have to have a job before I can file? And the attorney said that you need a job for at least 12 months. So of course, Sheena is very frustrated by this. She was already annoyed that she's the only one working, but now finding out that he has to get a job and knowing that he doesn't feel like he can get a job because of his autism, she's feeling like it's going to be impossible for her to get a visa, or it's going to take a really long time. Then we meet back up with Anna, Lynn, and Javon, and they're still mad at each other. He's mad that she made a scene in public, and she vents to her mom about what happened, and her mom tells her that she wants her to try to work it out and talk to Javon. She doesn't want to see their relationship break up. Anna Lynn says that she can't be submissive like Javon wants her to be, and she's starting to have doubts about this relationship, but she decides to go and talk to him anyway. And he tells her that he feels like he has to fight to be heard. And she said that she saw her mom being mistreated by her dad her whole life, and she's not going to be like that. She's not going to let him treat her the way that her mom was treated. So that's why she feels like she has to stand up for herself all the time, because she saw her mom getting walked over. And she apologizes to him for being so confrontational sometimes. So then we see another scene with Lisa where she's saying that she's not going to give up on Daniel because she loves him and she still wants to be with him. And she tries to go talk to him, but Daniel's not ready to talk. And he says that he still loves her, but he needs to talk to his uncle first and tell him what's going on, because if his uncle says that he can't marry her, then he can't marry her. So he's gonna wait until he talks to him to see if he can continue with the relationship or not. So then Elise asks Josh why he decided to move from his parents' house to move in with Chris. And Josh comes clean and says that, well, actually, I wasn't living with my parents. I was living with my friend, Nat. And Elise is like, what? You were living with your friend. Why didn't you tell me?" He was like, "Yeah, I was living there for about 3 months and I just didn't know how you would take it." And of course, she sees this as a red flag because why are you living with another woman and then you're not even telling me about it? But he insists that they're just friends. And they're gonna get together later on with his friends, and Nat is one of them. So Elise says that she's gonna get down to the bottom of what's really going on between these two and why they were living together and try to fill her out. So when they finally do go meet up with his friends later on that night, she's hitting it off with everyone. Everyone's getting along. She really likes them, but she still takes this opportunity to find out what's going on between Nat and Josh. So she asked her how Josh came to live with her. And Nat was like, "Well, Josh was struggling financially, and I needed someone around for emotional support at the time. So it seemed like a win win situation." And Elise says, "Well, I don't think men and women can be just friends. I've tried it plenty of times before, and it's never worked out for me." And Nat was like, "Well, I look at Josh like a brother. Like, I don't look at him in that type of way." And she asked Elise if she's jealous of her relationship with Josh. And Elise says that she's not jealous, she's just a little bit uneasy about it. So then she asks her, "Does he contribute financially to the household?" And Nat says, "No, she pays for everything."
That's suspicious. That's weird.
So now this raises even more red flags for Elise because she's feeling like Nat has a financial hold over Josh and she doesn't want her boyfriend being financially supported by another woman. And I don't blame her. So then, just as promised, Trisha's dad grills Rick that night at dinner. And he starts asking him questions. He asks him how old he is. He says he's 52. He asks him if he's ever been married, if he has children. He said he's been married twice. He has 5 kids. The dad says, "Are you going to give Trisha more kids?" And Rick was like, "Well, I don't know. I haven't decided yet." And then her family, because her family's all there, everyone's there, they start to get upset because in their particular tribe, having kids is a big deal. It's the whole purpose that they get married. So they were like, "You need to respect our culture if you're going to be with her, and you need to give her kids. If not, then you need to go on." So the dad says, "Well, when are you going to give us an answer? Because I'm not going to give a blessing until I know whether you're going to give her kids or not." So Rick says, "I'll decide before we leave." And now Rick is really feeling the pressure because he doesn't want to have any more kids, which is understandable at his age, but he wants to be with Trisha. And I don't think that this is something that she's going to bend on. I think she really wants to have kids. She's only 25, so that's her right. So I don't know what they're going to do. I think that either he's gonna have to agree to more kids or he's gonna have to let her move on with somebody else. So we end the night off with Forrest and Sheena. So Sheena had asked the attorney what would happen if Forrest tried to apply for a visa to live in the Philippines, and the attorney said that it would be approved and he'd be able to move over there. So Sheena suggests to Forrest that maybe he just come move to the Philippines with her and maybe she could help him get a job over there, and he says that he doesn't know. Like, he doesn't want to leave his family because he has autism. He leans on his mom a lot for support, and he doesn't know how he would make it without her in another country. So he's torn. He doesn't know whether to stay in the Philippines with Sheena or go back to the US, try to get a job, and try to get the K1 visa to get her to come out. And that's where this episode ended. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want more 90 Day Fiancé content, then go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.